Good morning, folks. It's 8:28 a.m. Friday, April 29th, and we have got a real cool wolf hanging around. Some picture of wolf energy. Uh, Sometimes I'll see a picture, use it relating with something else I talk to, and you can talk to spirit, see the image in your head if you want. You can have a picture of it and have it hanging around. A lot of people do that. Take a picture of an animal guide when they find it, and they look. They'll print it out, put it on a wall, and every once in a while, they're just working, going through their day, and all of a sudden, boom, they look up at it. And the reason why they do is because the easiest and quickest way for your animal or human spirit guide, but usually animal, because you're using a picture of something other than a person. And animal spirit guides are awesome, folks. You can't go wrong. Okay, you literally be told, you'll be made to look up. You look up the picture, and then all of a sudden you get a message. It'll come into you. So it's a way to, like, it's like a phone ringing. The phone rings, you pick it up. There's something going on. That's what the picture can help you with. Doesn't mean you need it. Doesn't mean you can't talk with your spirit guide. If you got a lot of stuff going on, you're very busy doing things. Your head's changing, folks. There's nothing wrong with doing that. Some people might say, "Well, you shouldn't have to do that. I have the power, or I don't need to." No one says you need to, but why not help yourself? Do what you need to. You're gonna have people running around, glorifying themselves, all kinds of stuff. Okay. Um, People say that about me all the time, and all I've ever told people is just listen to them. When people talk, all this smack about me, let them. Don't get upset. Just let them and look at them. How does your heart feel about them? First off, how does your just look at them? What do you get out of them? Number one. Number two, what are their message that they're putting out? What's behind that? First, look at a person. Is this negative, abusive, aggressive, selfish? Uh, does it have honor in it and is trying to protect someone, or is it just going crazy like a little child having a tantrum? Um, and then you listen to what it's saying and feel the energy behind what it's saying. Trust your heart. Okay. Somebody can talk nice and smooth and say stuff like that. It doesn't matter. Just feel into what's going on with him when he says that. The heart can throw out feelings that can disguise that can disguise truth. But you know what? It can't last long. You just relax and you flow through it and you feel into them. Use your abilities. Usually people want something to be about them, or they just don't want it to be about anyone else, because there's not the same thing to be able to be said about them. But sometimes you look at the person they're talking about, and they don't want it to be about them. Excuse me. Yeah, sometimes other people just get upset that something is about someone else and it's not about them. The main thing is get your basic feeling from it. Don't waste too much time unless you're doing an exercise where you're using your abilities. Then that's really good to do. But just don't worry about it. Remember, people say that about you later. It's who cares? They say it behind your back. So what? When I first started doing this and came alive and started cranking people up, and people said this guy's full of garbage. He can't do this crap. He's full of it. And then it happened so many times, so long, it kept happening, and then people started saying, well, maybe he can do it, but he got it from the devil, or I've been called a jinn, DJINN, all kinds of stuff. If they didn't bake a cake, there's no such thing as a good cake. Okay? Who cares? This is about everybody waking up. This is about everybody becoming who they really are. This is about everybody starting to understand what's really going on, why it's been going on, how it started. There's so much, I want to say intelligence for some reason, sitting inside my two creation books. They're really yours, but I wrote them. Um, there's so much in there. When you have the basic truth, it's amazing how many things, just kind of questions and issues, just kind of fall in place. They just kind of flow. When people start waking up to what's really going on, they get the information, they start getting softly, quietly mad, annoyed. They start feeling aggressive because you know why? Number one, they're not screaming idiots, so they're not going to go nuts. But I should say number two, they're not going to go nuts. That's why they're quiet about it. But number one, they're finding the truth. And when they see it, hear it, feel it, understand as they understand it, as it actually gets understood at that moment, they realize how they've been abused. Um, it's not a cult thing, it's becoming aware of something. Nothing says you need to pay here, you need to give up what you own, and you need to do this way, that way. No. It's just becoming yourself. I remember a long time ago, there's a company, two companies. One of them had the balls to say that I was a cult, and that's why they were holding up thousands of dollars of money that was coming in for my clients. And I said, okay, number one, I said, where do you get this occult thing? And they couldn't answer it. And I said, I talked to this person. I said, you're religious. You have issues from mom and dad about Christianity. You can't find anything that fits, and you're really mad. You're mad as hell, mad about everything. They give the people that work underneath you a hard time all day long. None of them respect you, and they can't because you're not respectable. You can't respect yourself. And I said, but besides that, I said you can take Christianity. Now there's a cult. There's a cult. Religions. Come over here, pay here. You have to pay here or you're going to hell. It's like, it's sad. So, it's funny, they pay all the people back. I had to take care of it. Michelle actually did it, but just sent all the money back and to the people. And then they all sent the money back a different way. It's like, didn't lose any money. Of course, it's Michelle's money anyway, but what I'm trying to say is that the people were satisfied. They paid, went ahead and repaid. There's one time that had happened to us with two different companies, and then it stopped. There's one person in Canada, a young lady, she was going through a tough time. She couldn't pay back. And I understood that and, sent her information. I told her. She hesitated. When we told her what's going on, I could see and feel her. So I sent her an email myself and told her not to worry about it. I understand what's going on. So, because it's a lot of money and times are tough. More of us are waking up. More of us that are waking up don't have money. And the ones that do, good, awesome. But waking up isn't about making yourself rich. It's about feeling like you are. Rich in happiness. Rich in contentment. Rich in the ability to be yourself and to be allowed to do things out of your heart that make you feel really well. I've got an announcement I should have made right away. Trying not to slurp my coffee. On the classes, folks, please call me 20 minutes early on Skype, okay? You've got the Skype address. If not, and I screwed up, which I do, I told you all I'd do that almost first video I put out. Please write me for the address for the Skype contact if you don't already have it. And if you do it 20 minutes early, and I don't get you right away, just relax because I'm getting a few other people. The classes are small. I made them that way on purpose. Okay, they're supposed to be. We're supposed to have time to talk. You're spending good money. It's $125. It's a lot of money. Okay, $20 is big money. Um, we're going to take care of this. I want you to ask every question you can. Okay. Um, 2 hours is a good bit of time, but it's gonna go by quick. And I'm gonna be putting together an information sheet that I'm going to send to you through email. So you get an email from me. It'll have an attachment on it. I need to put that together later on today and send it out to everybody. Um, it's just a listing of different parts of the brain and the basic functions of them, and the basic stones related to them. Everyone's a little different. Remember that we're all different, bunch of different. We're all a set of different frequencies. Excuse me, that are actually have become sentient. Uh, Also, sales of stuff, except for the stone and stuff like that. Deanna's artwork, whether it's her jewelry or the paintings she does. Um, a lot of her paintings actually depict the sadness of animals and everything. It's a statement. Remember, Deanna is not just source. She's more animal essence. Her source contains a little more of the animal essence energy than it does the other ones, so that sticks out more. Very much in touch with them. Um, she's a powerhouse that's just not lit yet, but she is an incredible artist. So if it seems depressing, it's really important to her, and it's such a big thing in her heart that that's what comes out. That the animals, they're not appreciated and everything. They're not. They're abused horrifically, physically and metaphysically. They were. They're not anymore there, and that they're going home. It's time for them to leave. Uh, Not all one day, folks. It's going to take just a little time. Just please relax. As they start going home, you'll see a different change, I expect, in some of her artwork. She'll be happy. Um, it's not, she's not a happy person. It's just, she's very sweet, bubbly. She's awesome. One of my good kids, so to speak. Um, but you'll notice it. Um, Her jewelry and stuff is really nice too. It's not something that she's expecting to put on Tiffany's. Okay, it's really cool. It's really neat, and it's well put together. She's an artist. Uh, See, so anyway, the other stuff, thespiritualfoundation.com. I'm putting all that together. Um, these things take a little while. Stones and stuff. There'll be a link to go straight to them to buy it. There will be a minimum purchase order. I don't know if it's going to be like $150, something like that. Folks, sorry about that, but we're not Amazon.com. It's just going to be her doing this and emails and all other kinds of stuff. Okay. Plus creating the stuff. Right now, Paul's got a full-time job. Okay, so he's real busy. Things are about to change for them. It's time. Uh, so, and that's their website. Everything that I own goes into their hands as soon as I go, but most of it already be put there. But in the meantime, it's theirs anyway. I'm giving it to them. Uh, so they're gonna have all the now the spheres will come directly from me when you buy a sphere. If you buy a large order, you want heavily cranked. Um, that's it's got to be like a $450 order. That'll come from me. Otherwise, it's coming straight from Deanna. All the stones I'm sending her. Hey, not only have they been in the house, I've cranked them up. Okay, they've been here with me. Um, uh, but I crank them up anyway. So when you buy them from the Spiritual Foundation, they are cranked. And when you put when Deanna puts her love in it, and then Paul puts his energy, his fortitude and power in it, that's a neat combination. It really is. If you want that, you can just ask for it. Okay. Paul's a powerhouse, man. I'm telling you, he's incredibly strong. Uh, okay. That's got that done. Um, do. I'm trying to think of what else I need to tell you real quick before going. Um, uh, some of the prices and stuff. Folks are trying to put it together. I'm trying to finish getting my last orders out. I've had some of them way too long, and I put extra stuff in there because of it. Um, the tumbled lapis that I have is very strong. You'll find that all this other stuff. You get, for those of you that are pineal based, the stick selenite that I have, the small stuff, like it's 4 inches. It's not that small. And then the big stuff, it's like 16 inches. That stuff is it's from the Sahara Desert. It's very, very strong stuff. It's grade AAA. You can look at it and see it and feel it. And then you take some of this real strong lapis and put it with it. You're going to feel your head opening up. And then if you really want to crank it up hard, um, put some Starship in there. Bada boom, bada bing. And then you want to focus a little better. Some of this really good citrine. The citrine I have is beautiful. Uh, I can feel and see energy and stuff. And when I go to buy it all over the world, I see it and feel it. I look at the picture. I said that's great, and then I actually look at what's in the warehouse or whatever, because a lot of the stuff I buy, almost everything is coming from overseas. Um, I've got some Dragonstone jasper coming in from halfway across the world. Okay, it's already been shipped. That stuff is strong. When I crank that up, dragon energy, it literally pulls all of you together. Just really makes you strong. Helps you pull more of your energy in too. It really gathers your strength. Um, when it comes in, I'm going to crank the crap out of it. um, that with some unicornite, also called peacock ore. This poor piece is all beat up, still powerful as all get out. Those two together, um, dragon and unicorn, very strong parts of lily and arrow. Uh, that's a lot of strength. It really is. Uh, you are who you are, and you're awesome, but you can make yourself stronger. And you can use aids to help you utilize all your strength to access it. And Dragonstone jasper and unicornite, as I call it, bornite, peacock ore, sometimes chalcopyrite. This stone, uh, when you hold them on you, you literally have on you the energy that comes from dragons and or unicorns. Okay. Unicornite, unicorns. Dragonstone jasper, dragon. Literally. Okay. It's a Gaian dragon. It's from this planet. I was talking with Gaia this morning. That was personal though. Anyway, uh, let's see. As y'all get stronger and stronger, man, you're just gonna be start finding out more and more about yourself, and that gets you so excited. It really does. You get you cranked up. It's like, yeah, and it's new, it's wonderful, and it takes time, and it's hardest for the solar plexus people because everyone is always using their gut intuition, But solar plexus people have real strong gut intuition. They're not even aware of it. They've had it all their life. Um, Solar plexus gut intuition is always working, whereas like pineal and stuff like that isn't working that as strong. Not like the gut. The gut's located mostly inside the core, between a third and two-thirds of the solar plexus energy field is literally inside the core. Okay, we've got all kinds of stuff we're going to take care of. As you can expect, um, there's no class openings for tomorrow. There's still some for the May 8th class. Um, if there's any other openings for it, um, when it's close to time, well, if there's not any, if there's still a couple openings, that's good because then I can get through the class quicker and spend more time with personal questions. Uh, there's other stuff going on too. Um, Something happened last night. Um, Berju and I were talking about something that was kind of funny. Uh, if I'm talking with someone about something and it needs not to be told, or it's personal in nature, I'll never say it. Okay. Um, but she and I were talking. She goes, "Jay, I keep seeing starships. You know, I keep getting space. You know, it's like starships. You know." And I'm like, "Yeah, I know." I said. She goes, "But I look and I can't see what it is." And I said, "I know." Excuse me. I said, "I got the same thing this morning. I was looking at like a ship, a picture of a ship, and a bunch of different family members. You know, creation, soul, spirit. You know, spirit beings." In front of it, but they're all just standing there like a cardboard cut-ups. But they were real, but there was like a cartoon image of it. She goes, "Yeah, me too. It's the funniest thing. That's a message or something." I said, "Yeah, it's and that's why you brought it up while we're talking. Is that we need to look at it, and we were doing some other stuff, and I was trying to get off the internet. You have no idea how busy I am. But so I told her just give me a second, and then finally got to it, and she and I started looking at it. My head was so dizzy, and then her head was getting work done too. It's about making both of us stronger as we go to see something. Then, as we're focusing, part of my energy outside of the body literally is working on my brain to help me focus a little better. I got bad rotator cuffs. Hard for me to hold my left arm up at all. Anyway, so they're working on my seeing, help me see better, and the same thing with Berju. So she and I were at our respective homes, just kind of looking and kind of floating. Um, but there is a something I mentioned a long time ago. Um, that there was I instigated something. Things were brought about, and I put it out there, and I instigated a big issue. All the prisoners here on the planet. Oh, by the way, Steve Lewandowski sent me this Serpoian holding its salt and pepper shakers, but I just put stones in it. Some really nice garnet from India, and some really nice citrine. Uh, anyway, so these folks that are here illegally having been imprisoned on the planet, they were being shuffled. They got shuffled everywhere because I said there was a huge ship that had come here, and these beings, they look, they're across the way they look. They appear. It's like mean-looking Serpoians that have more human figures, and they're taller, and they just have this angst about them. Just like ugh. It's an aggressive bunch of folks. I explained them in a other video that you don't have anymore. Wow, so much of my old stuff. Anyway, the this the one other video I gotta put together for you. It has to do with the seven Anunnaki clans and the the Anunnaki ambassador popping into the house. Anyway, so back to this other thing. So this huge starship is here, and then there's smaller ships that come in and out. And I said that these folks, they steal information from other races, or they barter for it. They take it. You know, the jerks. And then they have this huge ship and then small scout ships. And she said, Jay, I keep seeing the scout ships. It's like they light up with energy. I said, yeah, they can literally just, like they just transport themselves here and there. But I said, the technology they use for it, it's like the whole thing glows. She goes, yeah. So anyway, they were here. They had located some of the prisoners that were really high-end scientists. The prisoners here, they're incredible beings, people. They're beings. Okay, they don't look like us, so what? And they located them, and they were planning to come get them and take them away and take them far away. And folks, I'm going to tell you point blank, I'm really tired of having to fight and deal with this stuff all the time. It keeps being, part of my energy is feeding it to me for me to take care of it, like I'm a garbage disposal, getting rid of the garbage out there. And right now it's cleaning up some of my own energy. I'm really tired of it, okay? I'll never stop doing what I need to do, but if I was home, I could take care of it like that. It's just a stupid process. That's hard for almost anyone to understand. That later on, if you want, you talk to Brazil or Paul about it, and they'll explain it. But anyway, just so over this stuff, and then I was reminded. So I really didn't care. I was like, I saw it going on. I said, great, taking them off planet, and I just been dealing with taking care of the trash, taking out the trash all day, and I get really worn out. Herky's getting sicker, and his getting sicker, and my getting sicker is very relative to our leaving. And I'm tired of what I do as far as the other side, the spirit on the other side dealing with it. And I hate to say, I just got complacent for a moment and didn't care. And Power Energy came up and said, they're taking them far away. And then all of a sudden there was, boom, the promise. You made them a promise. And I said, crap. It was also late at night. I was tired. So I fired up. When I fire up to do something big, it's my energy outside. I mean, I fire myself up. I can go to y'all, crank you up, and I can crank up 1,000 people at one time, no problem. Okay? But something like this stuff, what I'm talking about, that I'm not going to really talk about, what happened, that will, I guess I'll mention anyway, that takes a whole lot of power. There's no way to move that much power through this body, okay? It's like running too much power through a wire, it goes poof, but it doesn't matter. There's only a small part of me inside this body. So I made the intention, and by doing that, we both lit up, and this ship, and all this wonderful, incredible, high-tech, the highest tech in the universe, blah, blah, blah. The ship was beat up. All the little ships, little scout ships that were hanging around wanting to leave, they all got put in like an energy field that got collapsed on them. They got shook up. Their higher tech stuff, their weapons and stuff like that, was totally dismantled. And then they were literally sent way the hell away. And then all of a sudden, something popped into my head just 30 seconds later. Wherever Ara sent them, there were folks waiting for them. Folks that they had hurt, abused, and everything. The next thing I knew, they were all dead. They were all killed. These people have gone to other planets and just stolen technology. They didn't care if they blew up a piece of the planet. These things were nasty. So that's one less issue. But there's still some of them here hanging around. There's so much going on here on this planet. Folks, we're one planet. Okay, we're not big. There's a whole lot of different planets and beings, trillions of planets out there with a lot of life on them. Earth 2012 had been a legend for well over a billion years. Earth in its own year 2012, fifth age, beginning of the sixth. Number six is intuition. That's when all creation was supposed to become aware of the great Mother, Father, God. Instead, something better happened. They were destroyed, along with everything else that was a major issue. It means freedom for everybody, everything. So everything's crazy, upside down. It's going to settle down soon, but there's still a lot to go on. And Ara himself told them they'd free him. I've said in, those other videos I had on that other channel before, needed to shut it down. Over 500 of them. Every once in a while, somebody would say, "You repeated yourself," and I'm like, "So?" I said, "Get over yourself." That's at the very beginning when I used to reply to the idiots, Then you get to the point you just look at them and just laugh. It's like, man, I'm just so glad I don't have your issues. Some people are just so asleep and they're so selfish and self-centered. You look at them for a moment and you feel sad for them, then you say screw them and you go. You have to become a little callous. I'm tired, folks. Been doing this too long. A lot longer than I should have, but I got a lot more done than anyone ever expected on the other side. So, anyway, the important thing is y'all. Okay, not my little issues, personal issues. Y'all can just keep waking up, getting stronger and stronger, and seeing more, knowing more. Relating with stones, the energy in them helps you understand, something about energy and spirit. It's like in the second book, the big book, Creationist Journey Evolving into Paradise. In the very back, there's a chapter where I tell you about how to feel stones. Let's see, the new clean source family from Lily and Ara, negativity percentages and everything, the different ages. First age, 10.572 to 8.3 million years ago. Second age was 5.2 to 4.3 million years ago. Third age, 3.8 to 2.5 million years ago. It goes on and on. Some of the timelines. Where's the chapter? It's only a few pages. Okay, the difference between this man is talking to stone. It's just about a page, just over a page. But it teaches you the basics that you need. Well, actually, it's more than that. It's a few pages. Anyway, how the heck does a stone talk is the name of the chapter. How the heck does a stone talk? The section is 17. How to talk to the spirit in stone. It's talking with Gaia, folks. You can talk with Gaia, star energy. This is some huge petalite. Yeah. Sometimes I screw up and call it phenocite. Oh, and as you awaken and you start helping other people, teaching them, the next thing you know, you'll have some people there that said, "You said the wrong thing, you said the wrong thing." They have to focus on some little stupid thing to make themselves feel better. They're wrong. They're wrong. I exposed them. He said "the" when it should have been "that." Folks, you got to laugh at the ninnies. Oh, while we're at it, while you're waking up, getting stronger, and your brain's starting to grow, Sodalite, okay? 99% of the time, this is going to help out your brain while you're growing, okay? Sodalite, good stuff. This stuff is awesome. Bada boom, bada bing. Excuse me, I guess that's it. No, it's not, okay. Alright, the spheres and stuff are finally about to fly out. I mean, the rest of them. Turning stuff, all that stuff over, except for making the spheres, turning all this stuff over to Deanna. Um, it's time for things to be moving in that direction. I feel sorry for Paul when I go, man. He's going to need a huge truck to get everything out of here. Um, okay. As you start becoming awake and aware, like I've already said, don't let other people's negative issues or their problems become yours. You don't deserve them. Okay, we have our own. Um, a lot of people I feel sorry for. Some of them just, it's just like whatever. Don't really care. I don't get too annoyed at it anymore. That's nothing. Uh, it's like a little, just like a little fly flying around, a little teeny thing. Uh, I can see and feel so much. Sometimes this is something you're going to run into too, and that's why it's happening right now. There's at least one last thing I had to get out before getting off. The more you awaken, the more you start to see, the harder a time you're going to have trying to describe some of these things you're going to see, okay? Remember, the human mind is a physical brain. The quote-unquote laws of physics do not relate almost at all to what's real on the other side, second dimension. That's a place unto itself, okay? And when you start seeing that in other places, it's hard to describe that. If any of you get strong enough to go see the first dimension, which you will, Paul and Bergier, if they want to, they can go there. It's just there's nothing there except stuff, energy becoming sentient. It sounds like a big thing, but it just is. There's nothing. There's no great God putting stuff together. People are going to say that. They already have. No, it's just energies bouncing off of each other. To see energy moving in and out of itself, there's no way to really describe that. I go like this, stuff going in and out of itself. That's as close as I can come. But when I see it to actually explain it, no. I'll tell you another one. The core energy going through the body. Oh, it goes like this in the spot. No, not at all. It flows in and out of itself. Up and down, in and out of itself. People say, oh, the chakra. This chakra is counterclockwise. It must be clockwise. We must turn it around. We must have psychic surgery with a clear crystal made specially with a point, so I can do this to fix your energy. No, it's not like that at all. It's energy moving around. There's different fields where the energy doesn't just move in the basic direction. It moves in the other basic direction. It moves wherever it wants to. It's energy flowing in and out of itself. That's how the chakras flow, and they're not well, whatever, they're energy fields. Excuse me, sorry folks, I just don't like fancy names. Things are simple. Let it be that, and don't concentrate on the name, on the little process. Relax, and just look at something as a whole. Like the hawk, as it flies over the forest, it can see the whole forest. If it needs to, it can immediately focus on an acorn in a squirrel's hand on the corner of a tree, a branch, and then immediately release that and see the whole forest again. What happens when that hawk just stays focused on that squirrel and the acorn? Here's tree, here's hawk. Boom! Okay. You don't get anywhere. Did I make a simple analogy? Yes. Why? Because simple works best. I have clients that are like I've always been, have no money, hurting really bad, mechanics, waitresses, all kinds of folks. And then I have clients who are millionaires. I have clients, one of them is a brain surgeon. Okay, I mean, I have all kinds of clients, friends. I don't even like the word client, bothers me to say it, but I have to have a legitimate word to throw at you. And everyone in between, lawyers, bankers, moms, um, uh, whatever, everybody. They can all understand what I say, even if it takes a moment to suck it in. Sometimes it does, because this is all new. But they can all understand. And those folks that are incredibly intelligent, engineers and everything, and some of you larger businessmen, scientists, like I said, I do have customers that are clients, friends, whatever, scientists. Some of them are from off planet. Gee, imagine that. This is for everybody, everything. Um, I can talk to all of them. And they can say, well, Jay talks in simple terms. I might use this term or that term. Well, cool. But I'm here to reach everybody. And you know what? They don't take insult to it because I am simple. I'm talking to them. I'm not talking simple because I think that's all they can understand. I'm talking simple because that's what I am. It's simple. It is. It's sad sometimes when people want to take something, a good message, very simple, and turn it into hell. Uh, all they're trying to do is screw up the message. It wasn't there, shouldn't be heard, and they don't have a message themselves. They don't understand anything, and then they try and say stuff, can't make it work, and they get all excited about it. And I see it all the time, all over the internet. Sad. Um, there are some things you're going to see pretty soon that'll bring a little more real time understanding, some realization to some of the things I talk about. Uh, some of them really cool, loving, some of them will scary. Uh, it's time for things to happen, and we're really close now. Uh, that's a real big reason why it's important for everyone to wake up. Not to see me, to see everything else. First, yourself. That's the most important thing. It's time for everybody to be themselves. All of them. They say we only use 10% of our brain. Wrong. Wrong. You can only take a small percentage of your physical functions and apply it to your brain. When they take a look at the brain and they map energy and they see the energy moving all through the brain, especially when you crank, oh, that's funny. When you go to, crank up your own brain to function, you see parts of that brain that are supposed to not be operating. They are. It's just not in a way that's physically understood. I just got Michelle a couple years ago, I think. I don't know, a year or two, whatever. Maybe a year. Um, Sent a letter to the Dr. Oz show, and I said, do it. Call them up and do it. I said, tell them to get a QEEG EEG. It's a quantitative electroencephalogram, and to put it on my head, it measures energy. Okay, so it's like a weird hat that goes on there. Teresa Caputo, the Long Island medium. She's really cool. She sees and feels things, but nobody. You're looking through a barrier using a physical brain when you have maybe 1% of the real you functioning, and people expect you to look at it like they're looking at a TV because they have no idea what's going on. These people are asleep. They think they're talking. They're not just snoring. Okay. So, and then they think they're the ones that are going to call the shots. It's this, it's that, because I said so. Yes, that's right. Really? There's that psychic box again. Okay. So what they did when they put it on her is they uh, they wanted to see that as she went to go look at something, they wanted to see the different parts of the brain moving. That's good. Well, it helps substantiate the fact that when Teresa goes to look at stuff, Long Island Medium, when she goes to look at stuff, that there's stuff going on in her head. That's important. But what I told Michelle to go tell them, I said, you tell them that they can put that I'm offering for them. I said I don't want a penny. Pay my way there, pay my way home, feed me while I'm there. That's all. Um, but to go down there and then put one of those on me to measure my brain output and put at least 7 of them on other people all around the world. And then at one time, all together, everyone hooked up, everything live time, okay? I'll go into everyone and say, here's your pineal. Same thing I'm doing in this class. And I'm going to crank up the pineal. And then as you see my energy on the quantitative electroencephalogram, you'll see my energy, my brain just go crazy, okay? And in every one of these people, you're going to see the pineal gland glow. And then I'll say, here's hypothalamus. Then that region will glow. Everybody at the same time, immediately. Why? Is that for the great glory of Jay? No. It's to prove a couple facts. Number one, metaphysical is real and bigger than physical. Okay? Number two, yes, it's possible for this stuff to happen. Okay? That is the big tiebreaker. For people to know, number one, the metaphysical world is real and it's real big. And number two, there's stuff going on that they have no way to explain in their little physics book. That's what's important. People, I'm going to fall away from here and just go. Okay? Jay's going to fall away. Just a little bit of time, a few years, no big thing. Gone. Okay? My work will stay. That's the whole idea. Okay? But everybody's going to keep evolving. You're going to evolve. Period. You are now, and you're going to continue. And it's going to kick up soon. So, that's a fact, Jack. That's what this is all about. But that's a way to take people who are asleep and show them something's real. That they're real. That their brain can do this too. Okay? It's not like telekinetically throwing a car. I have power, look at me. No. It's look at the parts of these people's brains that get activated and then talk with the people while it's happening. That's why, I pushed Michelle into doing that. She probably said I cussed her out. Not that I never did. She cussed me out sometimes and then turn around and get sweet and everything and then all of a sudden get nasty again. It's just, she was playing me. Thought she was. I knew something was going on. Didn't care, folks. It doesn't matter. What matters is I get the information out. And I did. But certain people have gone too far and stolen from me, and now they're paying. But when it's all said and done, they'll have paid their final price. I'm not talking about someone in a physical body being hurt. I'm talking what comes after. Creation is getting cleaned up, folks. It doesn't mean you do something bad here that Uh, you get in trouble when you go home. It means there's things out there that have been nothing but hell and won't ever change, where they're trying to make everything about themselves, and that life after life after life, and that'll no longer be tolerated. You have to have a clean slate, a clean petri dish to grow a new organism. Creation needs a fresh start. It's going to have it. And don't start worrying, am I this, am I that? The fact that you worry about it means you have nothing to worry about, okay? Let me say that right now. That's in a high 90s percentile, okay? If you're concerned about having too much of, or too much of this or that, and it's going to be a problem and you're in trouble, if you even have that thought, if you don't have it, doesn't mean that you're a problem. It does not mean that. But if you even have that thought, you definitely don't have that problem, okay? Was that 99.7% assurity? So don't let that get to you. So anyway, the reason I brought up this Dr. Oz thing is they just contacted me through the email. Said you got a hold of us a while ago, and you know they wanted to talk and answer this and everything. We'll see if it's something we want to put on a show. So I got to go downstairs here in a minute, right back and say sorry. You had an opportunity, but it was made not to happen, and I'm no longer interested. All I wanted to do is just prove to people that this stuff is real, that they're real, that these parts of the brain actually do stuff. And if people see me do that, then they're going to understand this stuff somehow, in some way, is real. I now have physical proof that I can see with my eyes. Can't, you can grab this monitor and hold it while you're looking at it, but there's physical proof that the metaphysical world exists. So for those who are asleep, it's like seeing a highway all of a sudden appearing out of nowhere. I got a new way to travel. I have a new voyage to go upon. Time to explore the inner workings of my true self. Well, folks, that's what y'all are. All the other stuff, the problems on the other side, fighting and everything else, don't even worry about that stuff. I got that handled, okay? That's my job. I'm the janitor. I take out the trash. Forget that, okay? Forget my part in that. What I do want you to remember is that there's a real good reason for you to wake up. Few of them. Number one, you should wake up to become yourself so you are yourself. Okay? That seems oversimplified, but it's a fact. Why not be who you really are? Number one. Number two, you have a bunch of new events coming. You're going to find out there's people in space and everything else. Then you're going to find out that we have beings here in the lower dimensions that can use spirit. They have spirit bodies and they can physically make a physical body, shake your hand, and then go away again. You need to know that because that's where the new bodies are coming from. These solid bodies have fallen away. All but 10% of them will be gone. Maybe 2,000 years. Don't hold on to that time. I told you not to. So now if you're trying to hold on to that, you're wrong. Things will always happen as quickly and properly as possible. And there's no set thing in that. That's why the future's always changing. That's why I push people away from divination. Somebody has to be rigid and not care to set up the future to happen a certain way exactly, where people can actually say this will happen here, this will happen there, this will happen then. Something would really have to not care about giving you a good life in order for that to be the case. So I promise you that ain't never going to happen. Okay, few events important, yeah. Something that's going to happen recently, within like a few days, a week, or something, or maybe even for some people a month or two. Things you can find things out that'll flow. It's all good, but stay away from the long distance stuff. Just a thought process to help maintain your state of mind. You'll start thinking there's something wrong with you, but no, there isn't. It's just that you reached out too far trying to hold to something that wasn't close to solidifying yet. Boo, 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 boo. That's too bad I never got to use that quantitative electroencephalogram, though. It's important for all the naysayers to know that this is real. It's important for everyone waking up to be able to go back to one moment and say, this human being did that. So this process is real. Someone already did it. Not Jay already did it. Someone already did it. Someone already proved it exists. There doesn't need to be a name. There needs to be an understanding. Metaphysical is incredibly real. Everyone uses it every day, but it's going to start powering up and changing. The old format, abuse and everything else, the original first being male and female, hid all this from everybody on purpose. Self-glorification, man. The most disgusting thing I know. That has caused all the abuse in creation. I was there in the beginning with Lily. Yeah, I know. It's part of Lily actually getting into me. It's a serious and sad moment for both of us, but I gotta go. I got stuff I gotta do. She's really serious about something. Whatever, I'll find out in a minute. Anyway, I hope that stomach's talking. I hope. I know this information helps some of you. I hope it helps a lot of you. Just take the time to be you. Relax. Float in yourself. There's no magical, mystical mystery tour. That's what Beals say. The magical mystery tour. Something is coming to take you away. It's not like, and stay away from drugs. The DMT and this stuff, you're gonna hurt yourself. Okay, people do that, and I'm seeing this, and they're foaming in the mouth. Yeah, you're seeing some stuff, all right. You can take acid and do that too. I feel so happy about this. Well, because you're taking ecstasy and it's messing with your endorphins and screwing up your whole body and your brain. So I advise you to stop, but whatever, just stay away from me. I don't have time to mess with you. But just take the time to relax. Relax your breathing. Relax your mind. Take your conscious mind. Pull the little pins out of that big gear set that's your conscious mind. Just gears, mixing and mixing. Pull the pins out. Just let it float away. It's still working. Just leave it over there. Just relax. Slightly deeper breathing helps you relax a little more. Going deeper into yourself. And just feel. Feel inside yourself. Be open to feel what's ever there, but you have to open up your feelings. That's why it needs to be quiet and stuff, while you're doing this. And then eventually you get like that and you just awake all the time. Stuff running around. One of the first video I did with James Rink, I was at his house. I was already quite awake. And he and I were talking. And he was asking me something. I'm looking at him. And then all of a sudden in the corner of my eye, I saw this elf. I turned around and looked real quick. And he just ran across, jumped on the bed, looked at me, and then ran away. And I'm like, huh. Kids. Folks, y'all have no idea the fun you're going to have. And it's serious, too. But there's so much fun coming when you find out you're not alone. You are not alone. Okay? We have a huge family. When you can see everything, when the third dimension... When most of you in the third dimension are literally awake enough to sit at the table called creation and see what else is there, it'll blow your mind. And there's a lot more love than there is other stuff. Okay? Y'all have something really neat coming. Okay? And there will be some physical trauma here. And on some other planets too, but it's necessary to bring about the proper ending. I don't want to say you have to break some eggs to make an omelet. Okay, but there's some turmoil necessary to stir up the dirt so it can eventually be fertilized and grow something beautiful out of it. Folks, love you. Uh, I don't know what I'll call this video. I just talk and then try to figure out what to say, what to call it. Um, anyway, hope you all have a kick butt day. I'm coming, Hurt. I love you, buddy. Love you all, man. Have a good one.